Unfortunately, you know, you can't pay the rent with love. I wish we could. I wish, okay? Because listen, we'd be out right now. We'd be out here with a home and everything, but I couldn't. And he couldn't either. I realized that was what I was looking for. At that point in my life, I was looking for connection with people. I must have been lonely. You know what I mean? There must have been a part of me that felt like abandoned. I had abandoned a part of myself. Hi, my name is Bre Scullark, formerly of America's Next Top Model. I am a trauma-informed yoga instructor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a model. I'm human. I'm a woman of color. And I'm about my peace. Check me out on MadameNoire's In This Room as I talk about relationships and love. I think love is freedom. I think love is freedom. I think it's individuality. I think it's peace. I don't know what that looks like in human form, but I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like when I'm alone. I know what it feels like when I'm in a room with someone and I don't have to speak and they don't have to speak either, and we have peace. It can just mean time, intimacy. I think all that really starts when we're young. Our first idea of so many different things, and then we get to reshape that when we get older. And I think that's what I'm doing now. The inspiration of love, to be motivated in the morning, that reason to get up, that purposeful feeling, I think that's there as well. I think it's the greatest inspiration, whether it's positive or negative. I think it's the greatest inspiration is love. When it comes to love, I think that we're predisposed to what it looks like growing up in our environment, growing up in our family dynamic, and then this beautiful thing happens and we grow up. And then we get to define what love means for ourselves. And so very early on, I came from a single parent home. So my mother was my idea of love. Her strength, her resilience, that was love for me. Everything scares me about love. You need to be so vulnerable when you are ready to love. And vulnerability is not a weakness. Vulnerability is about the ability to be seen, right? For better or for worse, for high, for low, and standing in that, right? And I think that's scary for people because the image that we have in our mind of who we are may be different from how we're perceived in this world. And a lot of people run from that. So I don't think it's necessarily we run from commitment as much as we run from being vulnerable in front of someone. It can be a really scary place, but I think it could be safe with the right person. Pain will change you. For better or worse, pain will change you. And I think that love is this risk that we take with another person. And so many things can transpire when you're in this relationship and love is on the table. You can see the best of yourself. You can see you at the worst. And, you know, and it's a beautiful thing because this mirror is held up to you, right? Like, here's who you are when you don't get your way. Here's who you are when you're uncomfortable, when you're sad. It may not look the way you wanted it to. You may not behave the way you thought you would, right? And so here you have this opportunity to see yourself in the mirror and go, can I change? Can I do better? This is practice. Can I get better moving forward? I think a successful relationship is one where I get to be present, where I get to throw away the idea of what it's supposed to look like and just really focus on how it feels and let that guide me. That would be success for me, but it wouldn't be me emulating something else that I saw. I mean, I do have like my bottom lines and my top lines, things that I won't accept, things that like I'm willing to have a vision for. Within all of that, being present, being absolutely present for it and really enjoying that. If I've never been a traditional girl when it came to marriage, I think I'm looking for a life partner. Some people would say that marriage is the same thing. I personally disagree. Maybe I'm being complex, maybe I'm being like really nitpicking about things, but I don't need an institution behind anything to declare my love for someone. And so the idea of marriage for me kind of makes me like shrivel up. But I'm looking for a life partner. I'm looking for someone that is my equal. I'm looking for someone who equally inspires me, who is equally working on their recovery from their childhood, from their past traumas. I'm looking for someone who is willing to do the work. I'm looking for someone who enjoys themselves. I've redirected my energy and I'm not really in a space open for anything right now. And so I'm interested to see what that looks like. When you just feel content in all areas, like I've created the status, so I'm not necessarily looking for that. I can create intimacy with myself, with my family. I have that connection. I think now I have the vocabulary that I didn't have growing up about what worked for me and what didn't. All I had growing up were my feelings, right? And so I was acting out because I was like, this isn't right, I don't like this, but I couldn't really explain what it was. Whereas like now I can say like, I don't want my life to be completed by another person. I love that very candid, raw, be you. Be you. And so once I start feeling like that shifty secrecy situation moving around, okay, this isn't gonna work out. You know what I mean? Because if I gotta hide it, if I gotta lie, it ain't it. And I love when people say like, I lie because I care about your feelings. No, you lie because you're taking my choices away. And for me, it goes back to like empowerment. So you disempower me when you have secrecy. You disempower me when you lie. You sway things in your favor, which is very manipulative. And I'm not saying anybody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I never dated a perfect person in my life because I ain't never been there. But once you start to disempower me and take my choices away, I already know it's not gonna work. So I'm just learning this top lines and bottom lines. So I have a mentor that talks to me about relationships because it's interesting. I ain't got the answers all the time, you know? And so she talks to me about top lines and bottom lines. And so what I'm learning are like, even if I may not necessarily know what my top lines are, bottom lines are, this is what I will not do. Your top lines are more of your vision. They bring you to your highest self. And so for me, just because I'm so stubborn, I always start with my bottom lines. So some things that I'm just not gonna tolerate. I know that, we as women are very forgiving for cheating. I am not. I am not. And when I say goodbye, I mean it 1000%. I'm out. Now I might say goodbye like maybe 7 to 10, maybe 20 times, but whatever that time is that I'm done, like there is no coming back. You're blocked for life, like straight up. For 10 years of my life, I modeled full time. And so I dated a lot of financial advisors, I dated a lot of investment bankers, and I realized looking back that it was a status. And so when I look at those relationships and why they didn't work, I really wasn't looking for connection, I was looking for status. The most important thing that I have learned about love for myself is that it continues to evolve. I think that there's this very cliche saying like love yourself, but I have actually learned tools because I didn't understand that saying. People be like, you just have to love yourself. All right, but how I do that? You don't know? Okay, so stop talking if you ain't got no solutions. Like, I had to learn what it meant to love myself. Like, what are the steps? Besides getting my hair done, besides getting my nails done, like how can I sit in a room with myself and be with myself and not feel like I'm lonely? The state of my love relationship today, I am having my first child and I'm really exploring that. Like, my son has changed my whole world from the time that stick set pregnant. Like, it's almost as if my child chose me. Like, friendships didn't work anymore, relationships didn't work anymore. I needed to put clear, healthy boundaries around friends, family, and really protect his peace, right? And he can only have peace if I'm at peace. And so I'm in a place of stillness. I'm in a meditative state. I'm very present, and I'm not in a space to be with anyone. My son's father and I, the one thing we have that we see eye to eye on is that we are so excited for our son. We are so, so excited for our son. And so, the most mature thing that we have done is set aside ourselves and talked about like, okay, so who's teaching them how to play chess? We can come to a place of peace when we talk about our kid, and so that's what we do. And so that's just where I am. It's like preparing space, preparing my little small world for this little tiny human that's gonna come in that deserves a chance.